Dr. Garbanda. Good morning, everyone. I'm Geeta, founder and CEO of Niramai Health Analytics. It's a startup where we're actually using AI to save lives. So we're working on using AI in real life to detect breast cancer early and enable them to go to a treatment as early as possible, because we know that early detection literally is very, very important to save lives. Because thank you so much. I have my colleague Vicky also here. So just as a background, I'm actually a PhD in AI topic from Indian Institute of Science, and over the last 25 years I've worked on different data-related problems. It started, it started as AI in the beginning, and then it went to a different, then came back as AI. Anyway, so a lot of data-related problems in multiple application domains. But when you actually look at healthcare as a domain and how AI is different and needs to work differently for healthcare as opposed to, let's say, a transportation problem, smart city problem, a customer care problem, education problem. Several applications were discussed in the morning today, right? The difference is multiple. One is it's an extremely critical decision a machine is making. Even when you go to a doctor and the doctor says this person may have cancer, the doctor talked about cancer, right? Then you go for a second opinion. Even most expert doctor with 30 years of experience, you're not satisfied with the answer. You go to a second opinion, right? And we are talking about a machine making that decision and people believing it. So you can imagine, from a technical requirement perspective, the level of accuracy, the level of confidence in the estimation that the algorithms should have. And as a technologist, starting off from like simple predicting what is the next click the person will do on, let's say, an Amazon-like thing, which is a complicated problem. I'm not diluting it, but the error in clicking a wrong button, I mean, it's okay. I mean, obviously you will say back and then go back in, but if you have predicted as a machine, you've predicted that it's cancer or not cancer, there is no undo button, right? She just goes back home and she may actually detect it late. So the criticality of the detection, the impact of an error is huge in healthcare. So just taking one step backward, just if you look at the different applications, different problem statements in healthcare which AI is solving today, there are two broad categories I would like to put it, right? More from an end-use perspective. One is non-clinical operational efficiency being provided to the healthcare domain. It could be, how do you reduce the waiting time at every, like when a patient enters to a patient going out, how do you make that short test as possible? How do you utilize the beds in the best way so you can allocate, optimize the allocation of resources? How do you obviously optimize the time of the most experts, right? The doctor's time. How do we improve the so all of these sort of the productivity related, operation related, resources efficiency related applications come under the non-clinical applications, and pretty much the solutions for this domain is going to be somewhat similar to other domains. Like you will have natural language, understanding, you want to look at volumes of medical data that's available. You want to sort of summarize that for the doctor. Volumes of patient data available, you want to summarize that to the doctor. It is somewhat similar to news summarization. Of course, there's a lot of domain that, again, I'm not diluting the knowledge needed, intelligence needed here. But the application, and again, thinking about the impact of the decision is the same as in any other category. What makes it very different is the second lot of applications which fall under the clinical decisions. And Sir talked about clinical decision support systems. So this is where AI can make a newer kind of an impact, and this is a new domain altogether. And this is where the high impact problems that I talked about happen. And just to sort of look at it at a global healthcare and healthcare problem ecosystem and landscape, and how AI can make a difference in the clinical decision support, right? Is that we all know, especially during COVID, most people came to know that why is it important to detect COVID or any other disease early or prevent, take some zinc tablets and whatnot, like all those, you go out, you come back and take a steam inhaler and so on and so forth. Why? This is more like preventive and wellness kind of initiatives you would do. And there is of course illness kind of mindset that people have, right? I always talk about this car maintenance. I think all of us know about this example, right? So if you want to make sure that the car doesn't break down in the middle of the highway, right? The best is to actually sort of give an annual maintenance or whatever, right? To the check, exactly, for the body as well, right? So this, I think COVID has made people realize this concept of not thinking illness and go to a hospital when you're ill versus wellness. Go regular checkup, do a preventive screening, figure out in early and nip the disease in early stages. So this is something that can be accelerated and very nicely impacted by your healthcare, AI-based healthcare system. What it can do is, if you think of this as a timeline, here is the ICU and here is the people who are well and they're doing regular exercises and things like that. What AI can do or machine learning can do is look at the data at this point and predict that the person is going towards this, right, illness, and so predict it much earlier enough so that a corrective action can be taken. So moving the health status to a much earlier stage is something that AI in general can do for all diseases. So there's several things we can talk about the generic, but I want to spend next like 3 to 4 minutes on the exact problem we are solving. And one is, of course, we are very proud of the problem that we are seeing and a wonderful team which is solving this, and any collaborations are extremely welcome. So here, what we said was, actually, I was the lab director for Xerox Research, heading whole of AI research for Xerox in India. Then actually one of my cousin sisters got detected with breast cancer, and I saw, and I lost her within a year. And she was just about 40 years old. And I saw how the disease can impact the family. The family is shattered. She had a small son. Now he's studying and he's staying with somebody else. The husband is somewhere. It's very, very painful when it affects a young lady. The whole family is disturbed. Of course, it's, disease is bad in general. But I'm saying here, and more so, in India alone, we're losing almost 1 lakh women, 96,000 to be exact. Every year, so many women are dying. And many of these deaths could have been prevented if we had detected it early. And that's very, very key, and particularly for breast cancer. If you detect early, you can really treat in a way that the lady can live 30, 40 years later. And this is the problem we wanted to address at Niramai, and I quit my job to start the startup, where what we're doing is we're looking at the current method. Current method is called mammography, where we do an X-ray of the breast. And here it doesn't work for younger women because it's called dense breast tissue. Like, it's an X-ray, and one is, of course, you don't want to do X-ray again and again because you want to do preventive screening. It actually increases the risk to the cancer itself. So when you do an X-ray, actually in dense breast, which is almost 70% of the ladies have, the small lump is not at all visible. Even the best of the radiologists will say, okay, let's get an ultrasound or an MRI. Another imaging is needed. So what we started off with a non-X-ray based, non-invasive, non-radiation based imaging. It's called thermal imaging. So basically, all of us have seen thermal cameras being screened at the airports, when you came here, or like these are general infrared cameras which measure the temperature, right? That's what you all use now, especially for COVID times. So same thing, we use a high resolution thermal image. It's a thermometer, but a high resolution thermometer, which when I take a picture like this, I'll know the temperature of all of you one shot, right? This kind of an infrared thermal image. Now, we took this for the chest area and we get 4 lakh temperature points per person. And this is a lot of good enough amount of data. We're looking at every tissue, what is the temperature? So if there is an abnormality, if there is a cancer, there is higher metabolism and results in a higher temperature. More blood flow, that also results in an abnormal temperature. And this is what we developed as a machine learning over thermal images. We call it thermalytics, which can automatically just click, and it's not a picture, it's a temperature picture, if you will. And the AI algorithm analyzes and says whether the person has cancer, if so, where, like which breast and which part, and what is the probability that it is actually cancer, because it could be fibroadenoma, fibrocystic, there could be other variation, benign conditions. It will also predict what is the probability that it is actually malignant. All this is done the whole test is completed within 15 minutes, the AI does it in 2 minutes, right? And this I'm not like telling a story, because right now we have done 38,000 screenings in the last, it's been a research of almost 6 years, thank you so much. And now we are installed in 60 plus locations, including Apollo hospitals, HCG, and you name what. And a lot of learning. Obviously, we do a lot of screening in the rural areas, because that is where the healthcare has not gone. Really high quality healthcare has not gone there. And again, I'll be very happy to answer any questions around this. Just wanted to bring the context in. A lot of technical issues, if there are technical people, we can talk about how to solve, to build a system which is completely automated with AI, right, to make a critical decision. And also from a business problem, how did we actually get really top radiologists to say yes to this solution, start offering? So a lot of learning, and happy to share more based on your questions. Thanks a lot.